Well, hello, hello, my beautiful souls. How are you today? So, going off of last week's video, if you haven't seen it, I'll put it at the end here. We have all these transits going on, and I was just kind of giving you my take about it, and something was bothering me about the Venus Mars conjunction with Pluto. So, it was sort of in the back of my head. I have other things that I'm doing, like the Pluto series and all of that, but that just kept coming up. So I really delved in this weekend. I channeled, I sat with myself, I sat with the feeling, all of that, because that's Pluto. I'm sorry, that's Venus and Mars. And I really thought, well, how do I explain this? I was going to say a funny anecdote. It's almost like Venus was like, you really need to delve into what I'm about and how I work with Mars, right? So, through my higher self, um, I just kind of sat with all three energies and trying to understand the conversation that they were having on a deeper level, because that's what I'm trying to get to, the deeper parts, because it's Pluto. Because it's Mars, because it's Venus, because we have the North Node and the South Node all like talking. It's like they're giving us in the conversation, they're giving us clues as to how we can progress forward. And that's sort of my thing is I want you to see how this is a roadmap for you, how we can use this in our lives and in society and, all of that. So, welcome, welcome. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Cindy. I'm at Simply Cindy. I am a medium, but I love astrology. I have a whole bunch of modalities. That's the other thing too, is like because I do hypnosis because I do hypnosis, and I've seen so many people that I kind of get that other part of if you see me, once you get to know me, I look familiar, as you will look familiar to me, because we do incarnate. That's on a deeper level, but we do incarnate in groups. We do know that we're going to see each other one day, or maybe not, but maybe be around each other. Maybe it won't be in the same capacity or the same relationship that we had before, but there's familiarities, right? So, in honor of that, in honor of, let me tell you the way it played out in my head. It's like people that see this video before we incarnated knew they were going to come down and at some point see me so that they can understand themselves just a little bit better, maybe awaken a part of you that hadn't been awakened, maybe see a different perspective. It doesn't mean that you're going to do the different perspective, but maybe see a different perspective that you didn't see before, maybe become aware of something that you hadn't before. Does that make sense? And so all of that included, I want to give it and this the honor. So if you followed me for years, you are absolutely incarnated and knew that we were going to, I may not have met everybody that I encounter on my channel, but we've sort of been around each other and sort of under it. Like you come to me or you look this way to kind of give you a different perspective than maybe other people have not, right? It's like we kind of know that we're going to do this. So for me to honor that relationship, to honor that, and this goes along, bear with me. It always uh, goes back to what I'm talking about. Um, well, not always, but this time it's going back to what I'm talking about. So it's like my belief system, my understanding from all the things that I do, from all the places that I've been, from the understandings and the studies, is that we have these people and things and places and relationships that sort of mirror or reflect back to us. parts of us that we cannot see, parts of us that are within us, but we are not aware of. Does that make sense? And so, in honor of that, I want to do my best to reflect some understanding, a different perspective um, in what is going on right now. Because for the last 4 years, 5 years, 10 years, we've been going through some changes, and then we had some big changes, right? But I want us to, as we grow, as everybody's talking about the awakening of, you know, consciousness and humanity and all of that, that sort of gets us into the, it was always there, but now we're becoming aware. So let me see if I can say this correctly. My understanding is, as the earth was expanding, as Mother Earth expanded, as the universe is expanding, as we are expanding, our consciousness is expanding, which means our awareness of what we already know but forgot because we did things a certain way coming to this earth, that expands as well. So an example would be back in the day. I'm not talking about ancient times. I'm talking about back in the day, like the Dark Ages. We weren't aware of a lot of modalities. We weren't aware of the spiritual. Not on a global conscious uh, societal level, right? Like you really had to dig in. I'm not saying nobody knew. I'm just saying the big consciousness didn't know, right? But as we've come up in time, as we're in this space now, there are a lot more people that are awakened or waking up or understanding. It's because our consciousness is, it's because we're evolving. And as we evolve, we're becoming aware of the hidden, aware of the subconscious, right? Where before, um, I'll give you the example, like back in the day, you had to go to a hypnotherapist, and there were very, very few, if you even knew about hypnosis and was it really true. And now you can look on YouTube and there's meditations and there's a way to do it. So you're like conscious of it, you're more aware of it, and you can sort of do it. That's one of my goals, is to get to people to the place where they're doing it on their own. I know that's not good for business or capitalism, but we're changing anyway. It doesn't matter. So I know that's a long explanation, but that's kind of in honor of that. As I'm going through this and I'm saying, no, that's not deep enough. I need to get deeper. I need to get more of the understanding and bring it. I'm a Saggy moon, right? So my moon is Sagittarius. So the Sagittarius always wants to take what's out there and sort of bring it down, right? The wisdom, the understanding, the Jupiter, right? So that was a long-winded introduction. Uh, my name is Simply Cindi. I'm at Simply Cindi. I have a lot of modalities. I don't know if I said this already because I'm starting a channel. Uh, I'm a medium, but I have a lot of other things that I do, and I love astrology. So I want to sort of bring that astrology down to you in the way that I do it, because I'm a medium. They have characters. Those planets, they have characters. They have characters. They are characters for me, and so they come in a way where we're having conversations, right? But I mean, it's not the same. I'm a translator. I'm a medium, right? But it's not the same language. It's a different language. Um, anyway, so getting back to this, it was like I glossed. I tried a little bit, but I wasn't. It didn't sit right with me. I want to go deeper. I wanted to go deeper with this transit of Pluto, Venus, and Mars, and so what I did, and hopefully this will help you, and this all ties in together because of my understanding and belief and my studies and all of that. We do come and have these people and things and situations in front of us. They mirror us, or they don't, they reflect us, or they mirror us. They mirror parts of ourselves that we do not see, right? And we're so used to finding it out there or seeing it out there, because that's what this world's about, the physical part, right? But we're coming to an understanding of the underlying, right? And the underlying, that's Pluto. The outer planets from Saturn are sort of the subconscious part, the underlying, the, when you're in your family and there are rules, and then there's like etiquettes that's just with your family that nobody kind of knows, but you obey those rules. It's like that. It's like those underlying things. And Pluto is that. It's the underlying subconscious trauma, obsession, and all of that, right? So, and it's important to note that Chiron, I didn't say this before, but Chiron and North Node and the South Node, and we talked about it in the last video where I kind of brought it all together. Those are points, those are areas. And when I talked about it in the last, where all these planets, these 5 planets, are having a conversation as they pass by Pluto, they're heading towards the North Node, right? Mars is going to be a little bit lagging, but they're headed towards the North Node because that's a point, and Chiron's a point. It's an energy. You can think of like the North Node as almost like a portal, kind of. Yeah, like a portal, like an entryway, like a space that you're going to that you haven't been in this capacity. I'm not saying you haven't been there before. What I'm saying is, with this personality, with these things going on, you haven't been that because you're trying to create something new. Now, this whole thing, we have not had this energy in over 200 years. So this is all new to us. And that's why I wanted to give it the, because it's so easy to say, like I did. I mean, I tried a little bit, but I'll give myself a little bit more credit. But it's easy to say, well, Mars is this and Venus is that, and they're passing by too, and it's about relationships. Yeah, but I wanted to get the deeper understanding of that. So to do that, I want to help explain a little bit more about Mars and about Venus. And Venus, like I, this is gonna sound this is gonna sound odd, but if you know me, it's odd. I'm odd, right? Aquarius to Cindi. It's like Venus was talking to me and saying, you need to really understand what's going on with me. You need to really understand how Mars and I operate, because they do go around a lot together. It's the female male. It's um the dichotomy, the spark between them, that relationship that they have, that is within us. And that's the whole point, is that it's so easy for me to say, oh, on the outside, you're going to have this relationship, or this relationship you need to look at, or this, you need to look at this relationship between you and your spouse, or you and a boyfriend, or you and a girlfriend, or you and your boss, or you and, like, those are relationships, right? That's Venus Mars. But I want to go deeper. And I was having my higher self, how do I, first they show me and then they have me feel, and then I'm like, how do I translate that, right? So we're so used to looking outside. I don't know if any of this is making sense, because I'm talking off the top of my head, because I've been sort of channeling all weekend. It's the We're so used to, and it's so easy for us, and we did come here to do that. I mean, that's why you're born, that's why you incarnated. It's because you can see the physical reality of stuff, right? The relationships of the aspects that are part of you that you don't understand, you can't see, or you want to grow more up, right? Does that make sense? So when I was channeling what I understand, this is my opinion, my understanding, my kind of way. But like I said before, I know that people come before me to do that, to kind of give you a different explanation, to kind of give you maybe a certain different way to maybe look at it, that it'll click and you'll get it, right? So for me, let's go back, because right now, the reason this is important is because Pluto is talking to them. We have a stellium here. I explained that in the last video, right? But from now until the 22nd, I'll move it to the 22nd real quick so you guys can see. The 22nd, that's when they're going to, like, be sort of exact, right? Like they're together, they're in harmony, and they're dealing with Pluto, right? So we're going to be feeling this for a minute. And I thought, well, I know we felt this. Hold on a second. I know we felt this before. I know we feel Mars and we feel Venus, but how can we do this differently? Because we're in a space that we haven't been before in this incarnation, right? We're what are we trying to develop? What are we trying to understand? And so to do that, we have to go back to Venus and Mars itself. And Venus, like when I was saying Venus is about love and she just wants love and da 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 da, but we have to remember Venus is the receiver, right? And she's a lot of things. She's the receiver, where Mars is the action, right? But Venus is the goddess of beauty and love. And so when we say that, and we're so used to hearing that, and you hear other astrologers, other tarot readers, other people in the spiritual community say that, it's so easy to gloss over, well, she's love and beauty, but she really is about receiving and she's about attracting, not going after. That's Mars. She's about attracting and being alluring. And, and she's about being, it's almost like her and Mars are husband wife, if you can think of it that way, or they're together, they're in a relationship, but I was gonna say, kind of reminds me of my late husband. Mars is more assertive, and he's the protector, and he's the action. Where Venus is sort of the alluring, and she's the order. She puts order to things. She's the devotion. She's the she attracts the money. She doesn't go get it. She attracts the money. She attracts the beauty. Um, she attracts the music. She attracts the art. She attracts where she's the goddess of love and beauty. Mars is the god of war, but he has his synastry also with her in this relationship, because if she always was about the beauty, and that's what she is, she's always about the beauty. So there's a part of us that's about the beauty, male or female, doesn't matter. Gender doesn't matter. She's about the desire. So we have desire, we have love, we have attractiveness, we have alluring, we have beauty, we have music, we have creativity within us, we have order, we have devotion, we have places of us that are in harmony or want to be in harmony. That's Venus. But without Mars, the action, all of that would just stay there, right? Like we need Mars, the action, we need the protector, we need the assertiveness, we need to like bring those artistic things, the music things, the things from the other realm, we need to bring them down. Venus is good at attracting them, but to make them physical, we need Mars. So there's that relationship between them, right? They have love for each other, but they love in different ways. Does that make sense? And so what happens between them is, like, if you've been married or you're married and you've been married for a long time, you're like, ugh, why can't they just do it this way? And he, because I'm speaking from the female side, he's probably like, ugh, I don't understand why she just doesn't do it. And we're like, I mean, it's this friction, right? It's this friction between us. But that's what we're used to seeing on the outside. So I want to say that there's a place within you that's a Venus and a Mars. And you can tell that it's in balance and that they're not working together. You can't be two Mars and all action, action, action. And you can't be two Venus and all alluring to beauty and love and da 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 da. But the thing that I got from Venus was, you people forget two important things about me, is that I have boundaries, and that, I'm sorry, the word just left me. Yeah, that I have boundaries and that I have nurturing, right? It's almost like she takes Mars and nurtures him and believes in him and gives him kudos and boosts his ego and tells him everything's going to be okay. She's very nurturing, but she has those boundaries too. And those are things that we forget about her. And I think that it's really important within us. And not only does she nurture, but she needs to be nurtured too. She likes to be nurtured in the way that Mars does it, where he's protective and he gets things done because she saw it in her head, right? Or she felt it in her heart. Um, and that's sort of the relationship that we have within us. And so, again, when all this is coming together, when Pluto is talking to them, remember I said Pluto's like, we need to discuss the action part and we need to discuss the trauma of the action part, the trauma of the protector, the trauma of all of that. Like poor Mars, he doesn't get to have those feelings, right? But he works with Venus who has them, right? And Venus, Pluto is like, we need to talk about I'm sorry, I'm channeling, so words are leaving me. We need to talk about the nurturing, the trauma of the nurturing, the trauma of the love, the trauma of the beauty, the trauma of the creativity, the trauma of money, the trauma of devotion. Like Pluto only wants to talk about that, right? So with these three being together, it's about you not seeing those parts of you, even though they're playing out in your relationships. They're playing out in your relationships. So if you want a clue as to what you're not seeing, it's in the people around you. It's in the situations around you. That's what's needing to be looked at. That's what's needing to be healed. That's what's needing to be understood. That's what's needing to be grown from your soul's perspective, not your higher self, but from your soul's perspective, right? And so what I'd like for you to do is look at the Mars and the Venus within you, because that's what Venus was saying. It's like, remember that not only am I nurturing, but I need nurturing. And not only when I'm balanced, I can nurture and I need nurturing, but also that I have boundaries. So, what I'd like to bring it to you is to ask yourself with these two, because that's Pluto talking to them, right? So Pluto's talking to you. And Pluto's saying there are these things inside of you. There's this beauty, there's this love, there's this boundaries, there's this money, there's this assertiveness, and there's this lashing out, and there's this warlike, and there's this, all of that, that there are these parts of you that have not been addressed. And you can get clues to them by seeing what's outside, by seeing the relationships, by seeing the people, even the people, like the friends that you have and the coworkers that you have, like the people that are around you. What are they, like me coming into your space through this video? There are parts of you that are needing to be addressed. And that's what Pluto's trying to help us understand. There's a part of you that maybe didn't get nurtured. There's a part of you that maybe did get loved. There's a part of you that maybe didn't get the action taken. There's a part of you that maybe didn't harness the fact that you can be assertive. There's a part of you, like, that's what I want you to, because that's what this transit is about. And this isn't like we're going to figure this out today or tomorrow or even in the next couple of weeks. Like, this is, remember, this is a phase, this is a cycle that we're going to be dealing with for the next 2 years. And if you think about it, there are things that in our relationships that we need to be assertive with. There are things in our self things in ourself in relationships that we need to be assertive with. There are spaces and situations that we need to be protecting. There are things that we need to nurture. There are things that we need to put order to. There are things within us in our relationships that we need to have devotion for. And that's what Venus is saying. There are things that we need to have boundaries with, right? That's what Venus is saying, and Mars is as well. Mars is like, don't forget me. Without taking the action, none of this will be possible. I have a play in this. Like this is a part of me. This is a part of you. There is a space where you are the warrior, but there is a space where you are the goddess of love, the goddess of beauty, the where you can nurture. And I don't want you to do it outside right now. I want you to do it within, because it's Pluto, it's within, it's the subconscious, it's the things that we have been doing for lifetimes. Okay? This is very important. And again, you're not going to get the answers right away. And honestly, because I do hypnosis and I do meditations and all that, I can tell you the first three answers are a lie. They're the wrong one. That's your ego getting in the way, right? So keep asking the question within yourself. And I'm hoping that you understand this and understand the clues are the people out there, because they mirror you. They show you parts of yourself that either you refuse to see, or it's most that you're unable to see parts of you. And I'm going to do another video where we have interceptions in our chart, because I have 2 interceptions in my chart. So there's spots where I can't see. Even though I'm a medium, I still can't see. I can't see my spots, right? Which is why I've come to have people mirror me, right? So that's a whole other video, but we'll talk about that later. But I want you to like really ask yourself the questions. And I just thought of some questions, but ask yourself these questions. Like, what part of me has not been loved? Right? And this could be in the area. I mean, this is in the area, but it's kind of bigger than that, of where Aquarius sits in your chart. What parts of me have not been loved? What is it? And another question is, what is it that I'm lacking? Am I lacking the aggression? Am I lacking the boundary? Am I lacking what is it that I'm lacking? What is it that needs to be nourished? What is it that needs to be nurtured? What is it that needs to be looked at and healed? Because that's Pluto, right? Does that make sense? What is it that I haven't nurtured? And again, bring it to yourself. These people, these situations, these things that are around you, they're only playing the part because you've asked them to before you even came. Okay? So even the villain, but even the nurturer, and even the one that always laughs, and even the one that's always crying, and even the one that's always gloomy, like those are parts of you that you're trying to understand and grow through and experience. Right? And so I want you to ask yourself, what is it that hasn't been nurtured in me? What have I not nurtured? What have I not been able to see? What am I lacking? What part has not been taken care of by me? Whether it's, and don't get into the guilt, whether it's because I couldn't see it, whether it's because this is the way I wanted to understand it. And then the other thing too is, and this is a big one for a lot of people in the spiritual community, and I would say a lot in our group too. What is it that has not been able to receive? Because for a lot of us, it's hard to be receptive. It's hard to receive. We like to give. We like to help. But we have a problem receiving. If you're having a problem receiving, your Venus is not balanced with Mars. You need to receive. You need to be able to receive. But more than that, What is it that has not received my attention? What is it that I have been ignoring? What is it that I have been, whether it's because I'm too scared, whether it's because I don't understand, whether it's because it never gets solved, whatever the reason, tell yourself all the lies you're going to tell yourself. But get to the point. And the point is, what has not received my attention? What has not received my love? What part of me has not? And I don't know why I feel this, but I can feel everybody's heart opening and it's making me water, my eyes water. What are the parts of me that I deserve to give the love to and nourishment and nurturing, motherly? That's Venus, very motherly. What are the parts that I have not put boundaries down with? What are the parts? What is it that I need and so this is the important part, because again, I want us to move through this. So as we're thinking about all this, and you can come back and watch this video a million freaking times, I don't care. um it's here for you, it's here for me. um but I want you to, once you begin to, again, you're gonna, the first three are the lie, right? So you're gonna keep coming back and keep coming back and trying to sit with this. I sat with this all weekend. What is the parts of me? What is it that needs to be nurtured? Why do these things keep playing out? What is it that I'm not seeing? What is it that I need to give attention to? What is it? What part of me, not what is out here, because there's a lot that you can give attention to, and that's what we do. We're giving attention out here. This is Pluto asking us to heal within our subconscious, our other lives, right? What is it that I have not nurtured? What is it that I have not been able to see? And again, the clue is you can look and see those relationships, but I want you to bring it back to you, to within you. What is that? And then the second part, because it's not just Venus needing the nurturing and the loving and the beauty and the art and the music and the all of the creativity that she does, we need Mars too. And so I want you to also, once you sit with that, once you see it, once you're feeling it, not here, you can start here. This is Aquarius. Aquarius wants you to start here, but I want you to embody all Aquarius, right? And that means bringing it to here, to your heart. So I want you to feel it as well. Not just rationalize it, but I want you to feel it. I want you to understand it. I want you to sit in the feelings of nurturing yourself. But the thing is, and that's the second part. Mars needs to be in there too, in balance, right? They're talking to each other and they're talking to Pluto about how to help you move forward, right? So the question on Mars' side is, what is it that I need to do? What is it that I need to do to resolve this within me? Ask that question. And again, first three are going to be a lie. I mean, I say that laughing, but it's true. It's that ego that wants to, like, oh, well, it's this and it's that. That's it. No, I need you to really dig in. What is it that I need to do to resolve this? That's going to be different for everybody, because it's different parts of Venus that you have not balanced with Mars within yourself. So I want you to ask those questions. I want you to ask them over and over. What is it that I need to do to resolve this? Once you understand what it is, you need to understand what it is first. You need to feel it. You can see it by the clues of people out on the outside of you, but I need you to bring it back to you. And the other part is, ask yourself, ask your Venus, ask your Mars, ask your Pluto, how can I have the courage to make the choices and take the action to resolve these things? And again, that's going to be different for everybody. And you can also say, where is my courage? Where is my courage to be able to resolve this within me? Because I need to work, I need to be living life in balance so that I can. Because once your Venus and Mars are in balance, you can receive through your actions the relationships that you're dreaming of. Does that make sense? So I'm going to cut that there. This one's a little bit shorter. Again, this was just, I was inspired because of all weekend. I hope this helps. I'm continuing to do this. You're not going to get the resolutions right away. The other part I want to say is that we're going to be, remember when I showed you guys, we're moving up here. So we're going to be, this is almost the portal. This is almost where these land. This this new space that we're moving into, this north node, because of our wisdom in our past and our other lives, all of this conversation, all of these choices, all of this action, all of this creativity, all this dreaming, all this message, all this light, all this understanding, all this awareness, this is all coming to a point to the north node, which is our destiny with Chiron. We're going to talk about Chiron in another one because I just want to make this about Venus and Mars because I think it's really important that we help heal our Venus and Mars within us through Pluto. So I love you, love you, love you. Thank you so much for watching, subscribing, commenting. Yeah, let me know. Let me know. You guys are really quiet. Let me know what's going on. Bye.